Hello and welcome to episode 70 of the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm so happy to be back from my wonderful vacation. I am your host, Howard Kravitz. Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. Hope you had a fantastic weekend with your families and betting and whatever you might have been doing. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter. You can see it on the name tag there at H Kravitz. You can also email me at the bottom of the screen. There is my email address, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. A lot of exciting things happening. Some big races occurred last weekend. Some big races coming up this weekend, including the Whitney. And then the following weekend, 20 minutes from me, will be the big day at Arlington. It's still called Million Day, even though the big race is not $1 million. There's going to be Aidan O'Brien horses coming in from Europe, Chad Brown horses. Lots to talk about, not only this weekend, but the following weekend at Arlington. Let me give you a little quick update on what's happening on the show. I've missed you. Hopefully, you've missed me on the show. Took a few days off. Listen, sometimes you just need a little bit of break. I was very happy just to get away and chill. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know where I was. I went to California with my brother and crossed something off my bucket list, which was to play golf at Pebble Beach, which is, of course, a very famous golf course in the world. Also played Spyglass Hill, which is right by there. Certainly took a big chunk out of my pocketbook. It is not cheap, ladies and gentlemen, to stay out there and play golf. But even though this is a horse racing podcast, I know we have probably some golfing fans out there. Let me just show you the reason why I wanted to play Pebble Beach. Hello. That, ladies and gentlemen, is number 8. That is a shot that Jack Nicklaus calls his favorite second shot in all of golf. That is the 8th hole. You can see in the background there's 5 sand traps in the green. I took that picture right before you reach the cliff. About 10 yards further back, you're about 170 yards from the green. And I am not a scratch golfer, not even close. But once in a while, I can get lucky, and I did hit the green from about 10 yards from behind where we see. One of my best shots of my life. I was so happy to do it. So I did hit the green from about right there. It is absolutely gorgeous out there. Pictures can't even describe how awesome it is. But anyway, that is the approach to number 8 at Pebble Beach. Absolutely outstanding. If you're a golfer, I highly recommend it. Although, like I said, it definitely is not cheap whatsoever. All right, so let me tell you what's happening on the show coming up. First of all, because we just turned into August, now is a great time to subscribe to that Race Day blog. The information is there. You can also look below in the description, below the video player. I have more details about the Race Day blog, what it's about. It's been very profitable. Had some good scores last week. Had a nice exacta to kick off the pick 6 at Gulfstream. A 7 horse that I liked went off a 10-1, finished a good second, and keyed a nice exacta. Anyway, Race Day blog, highly recommend you do it. Also, Canterbury Park, I've been off, so you've not seen my picks on InTheMoneyPodcast.com recently. They're going to start showing up again because I cover Canterbury Park. What's happening this week? So tomorrow, regularly scheduled time, 8 p.m. Now, this is very important. So whether you're listening live, and if you're listening live, thanks for listening. Please make sure you comment in the live chat on the right side of the screen, as I see Jim is already commented. Let me go ahead and put Jim's comment up. Jim said my vacation was expensive for you. Sorry, Jim. I'm assuming that's that's a compliment. So thank you, Jim. Sorry. We'll get back on the bandwagon. Listen, based on the money that I spent, and I am not a millionaire by any sense of the word. I need to catch some tickets also coming up to recoup from my vacation. But thank you, and I appreciate your comments about the race day blog, James, as well. Appreciate those comments. Tomorrow, regularly scheduled time, 8 p.m. Now listen carefully. I'm looking for a guest. I'm looking for a guest tomorrow. You have to be someone that's usually, on the live chat because I don't want to have someone that I've never even heard of or seen before in the live chat. So if you're interested in being a guest tomorrow, do not put it in the live chat right now. Please email me, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. And I might not be able to get back to you until tomorrow morning or maybe right after this show. So I think I'm going to try to benefit people that are watching live here. But again, if you're not watching live, feel free to email me anyway if you are ever interested in being a guest on my show so I can add. I actually have a list of viewer guests that are interested in coming on the show. So if you want to be added to that list, please email me, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. But again, I am looking for one person tomorrow to join me to handicap the Saturday late pick five at Saratoga. And if I don't have a guest, that's fine. I'll just go solo. But again, if you're interested in doing that, please make sure you email me, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com, if you'd like to be a guest anytime on the show. But more specifically, if you want to be a guest tomorrow night, Thursday, the show starts at my usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the rest of the week will go as normal, 9 o'clock Friday and Saturday Eastern Standard Time for the Pick 5 at the Spa. Also, as some of you might know, I correctly picked Dynamic 1 in the Curlin last weekend for the Matt Bernier show for his Friday feature. There were two of us, and Matt has invited both of us to be on his show. So I will be making my fourth appearance on the Matt Bernier show next week. Of course, it's not a live show, but make sure you look for that either Monday or Tuesday night on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, InTheMightyPodcast.com, all those outlets. I'm looking forward to speaking with Matt and being a guest with him. Once again, want to publicly thank Matt for inviting me on the show, as I was lucky enough to pick Dynamic One, who I believe was 7-2, something like that, in the curling. Jay, thank you. I appreciate that. Joe Solito, thank you very much. Appreciate your comments. As usual, we have great guests. Thank you very much, and great viewers. All right, let's get into the pick five. We're going to handicap, of course, this pick five at the Spa Show. Hopefully, you had Kitten by the Sea, the 5 horse that ended the pick five today. It paid $7,000. I wish I had it. I've been off the betting radar. I bet a little bit Friday on the plane, and I really haven't. I've watched very few races. I watched the big races over the weekend. Haven't bet in several days. Looking forward to getting back literally on the horse. So let me go ahead and get my screen set up here for the daily racing form so I can pull that up for everyone. And there we have it, I believe. It should be all set. And let me go. There we go. All right. So let's talk about the late pick five for tomorrow. By the way, I don't know if you know, I got a sport, got to represent right there, Pebble Beach. Got to represent. Unbelievable place. All right. Let's talk about the late pick five tomorrow, Thursday. By the way, the weather is fantastic at Saratoga all week. It's about time. It's been a bit rainy there this summer, but it's going to be fantastic the rest of the week. No issues with anything being scratched off the turf. Let's jump right in. Race number 6, the beginning of the pick 5, 3:55 Eastern Standard Time. They're on the turf, 5.5 furlongs. These are babies, 2-year-old New York breds on the turf. So pretty difficult. As usual, you need to see the board. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen 24 hours from now without seeing the board at all. I will say one thing. I have a very strong opinion here. My strong opinion is I do not like the 5, No Time Alone at all. This is a horse for Wesley Ward, who usually is fantastic, of course, in these turf sprints, by Flincher out of a pulpit mare. So this horse is bred to be very good. Here's the issue. First time out was absolutely awful, ran a 14. Now, next time out, you see they put him on the turf, or her on the turf, excuse me, and she ran second. I want to show the replay because I watched the replay here. I do not like this effort at all. No Time Alone is the 6 horse. I'm going to let you watch it. Usually the Wesley Ward horses break unbelievably. This horse didn't break well in her first start. And as you can watch this race here, again, she's the 6. Broke okay. Broke pretty well, actually, but is really not that fast. No Time Alone is right outside here in these light blue silks. So she sat an absolutely perfect trip. Again, this is a short race. This is a 5 furlong turf sprint, and she's chasing a 20 to 1 shot. If she can outbreak and is not quick enough to get in front of a 20 to 1 shot for Wesley Ward, that's automatically a negative to me. And what you're going to see here is the 1 really goes by the 6 relatively easily. And you see the Wesley Ward horse right here is having trouble even getting by this 20 to 1 shot. She has no excuses whatsoever, no real punch. She's on the wrong lead. She just switched back to the correct lead, and she barely, as you can see right at the end here, gets by this 20 to 1 shot. This is not a good effort to me. It was not a real fast time. This is not your typical Wesley Ward. This is just not a horse that I'm interested. When the Wesley Wards don't win the first time, that's understandable. It's their first race. When they don't win the second time, I start really taking notice. Now, it is Rosario, it's Ward. Maybe this horse is just going to improve dramatically. I am not a fan of this horse. I'm using her, but I'm using her defensively. There's 2 horses here I'm a bit interested in. First of all, a lot of these horses that have run haven't done for much. The 2, who's 5 to 2, is not really bred for turf. Sure, this horse has run, in the 50s. By the way, this race is for males. Excuse me. This race is for males, but Wesley Ward is running a filly in the race. Everyone else, these are for the boys. The 2, who's a gelding, has run 3 times, not bred for turf. I'm going to talk about the 6 in a second. Everyone else are first-time starters. I'm looking for something goofy here. All right, when I say goofy, I mean morning lines. Open till midnight. The sire of Open Till Midnight is Midnight Storm. If you don't remember who Midnight Storm was an absolute monster in California for Phil D'Amato, won almost 1.8 million. First, the horses coming out of Midnight Storm haven't done too much so far. Nothing that impressive, but this horse is working well for Jimmy Ryerson, who's underrated, in my opinion. Puts a red hot Lascano on, and you know what? I'm going to take a chance with this horse. I think this horse is a little bit interesting. Midnight Storm is only you can breed to him for 7,500, and the horse costs 30,000. That's 4 times the breeding cost. That means something to me. If the 4 takes money, I'm interested. If the 4 does not take money, I'm not. It's pretty simple. The other horse I'm a little bit interested in, and don't laugh, is the 6, Chief Engineer. First of all, you see the breeding. This horse is by Midshipman, who is a good turf sire out of a Freud mare. And if you know anything about New York, you know about Freud. This is sneaky good turf breeding. I know you see a 0.19, but Russell Cash won to get this horse on the turf last time, was rained off, and he showed speed. I have a feeling this horse is going to show a lot of speed tomorrow, and obviously you're going to get a good price. And there's a lot of horses here that are huge question marks. Anyway, I think the 4 and the 6 are interesting in this race. I'm sorry I didn't show my picks. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit rusty here. Let me get to my picks for the race, my A's, B's, and C's. There they are. I don't know. I have to see what the board looks like. I'm going 4 6s A's. I'll put the Wesley Ward as a B out of respect to Wesley Ward. The other horse I would use as of right now would be the 9 Aerodromos. This horse is by Cantheros, a very good, precocious, speedy sire out of a Touch Gold mare. Touch Gold is more distance dirt, but Cantheros is a very precocious, fast horse, or was. This horse has 2 bullet works on the sin. Again, you need to let the board be your guide in this race. My overall opinion, though, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't like the 2 morning line favorites. I don't like the 5, and I don't like the 2. We'll see what happens. Someone has commented that I have to uh, mention Tom Espinoza. I want to give a huge, I'm going to go full camera. I want to give a huge shout out to Tom Espinoza. Tom was fantastic. Tom lives close to San Francisco. I actually flew into San Francisco for my vacation. Not only did we, get in touch with each other, Tom actually drove out to the airport to meet me, which was outstanding. Bought my brother and I several bottles of wine, of which Tom we drank a few already on the trip. Gave me some great advice. We spent Tom doesn't even know this. We spent a few hours before our flight on Tuesday morning. Went to the Golden Gate Bridge. Went to the pier that he recommended. Went down the windy road, which I have video. Tom, I'll send you some stuff. Anyway, shout out to Tom Espinoza, who went way, way above and beyond to help myself and my brother on our trip to San Francisco with some sightseeing suggestions and some free bottles of wine. So, Tom, thanks a lot, buddy. Really appreciate that. Tom mentions the 1. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. The 1 didn't do much for me in terms of the workouts, and Rudy is not great first time out, Tom. But again, we'll see if the 1 takes money. It's hard to criticize anything right now. 24 hours out in that race. All right, let's move on, folks, because we're already 18 minutes in the show, and I need to end at 6:30. There's my comments for the next race. Let's go to the next race. Race 7. Inner turf. This starter allowance going 1 mile. My big angles in these starter allowance races, I do not want horses that have not won in this condition. I'm looking for fresh faces. Therefore, I think the 2 at 6-1 is very interesting for Tyler Gaffleone. Claimed off of Noda for Saffie Joseph. This horse has enough tactical speed, is running buyers that are competitive enough to win, should get a nice inside post, was bothered last time, and second off the layoff. I like the 2 at a price tomorrow, Mystery Bank, for Tyler Gaffleone. The other horse will most likely be the favorite and should be is the 7 Land Biscuit. This is a horse for Bill Mott. Ran 77 and 81s in main special. Took a little bit of a break. Is probably going to come mid-pack. Is the best closer in this race. I like the 7 also in here quite a bit. I'd also use the 9, who I think is going to be overbet. This is a Chad Brown horse who you can see has already run in this condition 4 times, didn't win. This is the kind of horse I try to play against, but obviously can win the race. And there are a few others I'd use. You see on the screen my picks. The 1 who's a New York bred but coming off a blowout win. The 3, same thing, New York bred coming off a maiden win for Linda Rice. And I've got the 4, and that's not a typo. The breeding of the 4 is interesting. Only had 1 race on turf as a 2-year-old. Trainer tried to get the 4 on turf 3 other times, was washed off. The sire is Mishawish, a very nice turf horse, and this horse has speed. So the 4 would be my absolute bomb in this race. I'm definitely using the 4 underneath in case the 4 loves the turf and gets loose. Would not shock me at all. Spectatorless. A great name based on our COVID months here. But fortunately, spectators are back. All right, let's get on to the next leg. This is race 8. You see I'm going very skinny there. I actually don't think I put up the, sorry about that. Let me go back real quick to my picks because I was full screen. Sorry. Top choice again is the 2 Mystery Bank. There you can see it there for Saffie Joseph. And the 7 Land Biscuit. There's the PPs for Land Biscuit. Those are my top choices right there. Again, I think the 9 Life on Top, who has 4 starts that you can see now on the screen in this condition that did not win. I'm against the 9 on the win end. Obviously can win. And then the other horse I mentioned, the 1 coming off a blowout win, New York bred. 3 coming off a win, New York bred. And then there's the 4. out of Mishawish. By the way, love the out of a Tappet mare, Pooh Corner. Love the name. Big fan of Winnie the Pooh. Anyway, Acclaim, bred for turf, and shows a lot of early speed. And if he gets loose, maybe a bomb happens right there. All right. Let's go ahead. Jay mentions number 8, Bad Guy. Jay, I'm not sure what you like about Bad Guy. I think Bad Guy is not good. I don't like 3 for 50. I guess he's got some numbers that fit, but those are mainly sprinting, and I just don't like 3 for 50. This is a great horse to use underneath in your tries, Jay. 10 places, 12 shows, so 22 out of 50 times second or third. Not a win candidate. Again, we're doing pick fives here, folks. So, Jay, I'm really more interested in looking for horses that can win, but Bad Guy certainly fits underneath. Let's go to race 8. Again, there are my picks. I've got only 2 horses A's in this race. This is a dirt race, a mile and eighth state bred, 3 and up. Now winners of one other than. You have to have horses here that can get the distance for sure. There's only 2 horses that I think are clearly above everyone else. Our man Mike, who can get the distance, has run Byers good enough. I like the turf to dirt angle. And the 5, Bingo John. Look at the breeding by Oxbow out of an AP Indy mare. So even though, again, the Byers don't look great, I'm expecting a step up here for Brad Cox in the Byers based on the time off, the breeding. Again, I think the 1 and 5, I won't say lay over the field, but to me, you have to take stands a little bit, and I am. The only horse I'd be interested a little bit underneath as a C would be the 2, Quick Return, who might have the lead, maybe gets the distance. This horse is by Central Banker out of a Catinas mare. I don't know. I have Quick Return in there in case he can get the distance because he does look like he's getting the lead. But to me, this is all about the 1 and 5. I'm really not interested in anyone else. You could use others if you want. But again, I'm going pretty light on this ticket for tomorrow. Let's go to race 9. Uh, race 9 is a stake race. Race 9, as I switch my PPs here, they're going a mile and 3/4 on the dirt. You can see they start on the back, almost the top of the backstretch. This is a very long distance dirt race. It's the Birdstone 4-year-olds and up. It's a listed stake, 120,000. There's a lot of horses in here that are going to look familiar to you. There's 2 horses I like the most. Lone Rock, who I frankly did not like last time in the Brooklyn, got a perfect trip and absolutely exploded with 100 Beyer. We'll see how this horse does off the layoff. This horse is off at 2 months. I'm sure that was something that Diodoro planned to do. This horse was in absolute raging form before the 2-month break. Obviously, Lone Rock can win. I think even money is absolutely crazy. I would never bet this horse to win anything lower than probably 5-2. But obviously, Lone Rock can win this race. The horse I like more because of the price is Moretti. I think Moretti in general has faced tougher horses. Now, he was horrible against Lone Rock 2 back. So if you go 2 back, Moretti did lose to Lone Rock by 12 lengths. But that was Moretti's first start in 10 months. He's getting back into form. He ran very well in the Suburban, in my opinion, against Max Player and Mystic Guide and Happy Saver. So if Moretti continues to improve, there's no reason why he can't win. I really like Moretti quite a bit in this spot tomorrow. If I get 5-2, 3-1, I might be putting a win bet on him. I love Moretti tomorrow, the 4 horse. There are other horses that you can't ignore. You're to blame. A horse who destroyed my pick 5 on July 25th after he was claimed by Orlando Noda. Ran a race last time, first time for Noda, out of absolutely nowhere. I have no idea where that number came from. I don't want to make any other public comments other to say that that was a race that you're to blame has not run in a very, very long time, if ever. A 96 buyer, absolutely exploded with a perfect trip. I'm completely against You're to Blame tomorrow. I have him as a B horse. I'd very happily move him down depending on the ticket. I also have three others on the ticket, the 1, 5, and 7. Rye, the guy who is capable of running a decent race, finished second to Lone Rock, 2 back. I also have the 5, Sugar Ray 2. I'm a little bit interested in this horse, probably underneath in trifectas. Um, his best number was this year at Aqueduct, going a long distance, a mile 3/8, got a 94 buyer. So listen, perhaps this horse wants to just go long. If this horse wants long, gets Rosario, it's going to be a big price. I'll throw Sugar Ray 2 in there also. I think Sugar Ray 2 has a puncher's chance. Everyone get that at home? A puncher's chance? All right, think about it. Uh, I think the sun got to me from California. I don't know what it is. Anyway, bad pun. I'll throw Sugar Ray 2 in there. It's underneath in trifectas and as a seahorse in the pick 5. And then the 7, Rocketry, who I really don't have to use for Jimmy Jerkins. I think this horse's best days are over, but he's capable of running a big race now and then. So those are my picks there in that race. We got a few quick comments. Joe agrees with me. I'm ready. I agree with you, Joe. I'd like to see this horse on the lead. Not a lot of speed in this race, but I mean, this horse doesn't have to have the lead. If he's just sitting right off it, I'm fine with that. That's good information. I did not hear Rapoli talk about Moretti in the winner's circle today, Joe. Thanks for that info. I like Moretti a lot tomorrow. I am a bad teacher. Speaking of which, by the way, I'm going to go back full screen real quick here before I end the show. My full-time high school mathematics teaching job does start again in the next few weeks here. The pick 5 at the spa segment might be reduced. I don't know if I'm going to have time, frankly, to do it the night before every single race day. Sorry. My full-time job does take precedence. I'm going to do the show as much as possible. What you'll need to do is watch my shows, pay attention to Twitter, because every week might be a little bit different. I apologize. I like to keep a regular schedule, but stay tuned in the next few weeks as to my schedule. I will always have the flagship show Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Always. That will not change. Other shows, we'll see how things go forward. Jay says, "Do I trust it?" Not at all, Jay. I actually let me back up. Do I trust the figure? Yeah, I think the figure is about right. I mean, he won by 11. I don't want to take the time to go through the chart. Jay, I trust the figure. I don't trust this horse can run that figure again. I just that was a complete anomaly. That number comes out of nowhere for this horse. I don't think he can do that again. Let's go back to the last race and then we'll wrap up the show. The last race is race 10. Let me go ahead and put the banner up there. I love a horse in this race. I have a single A in this race, and I don't believe this horse is the morning line favorite. This is the last race. It's a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. 3-year-olds and up, New York breds, filly and mares, maiden 40. The 9 horse in this race, who's not the morning line favorite, Escape with Friends. This is a replay special. If this horse gets off at 7-2, I'll be absolutely shocked. Now, this is a big field, so Cancell's going to have to work out a trip. Watch the 6 horse in this race. We're going to watch the start, and then we're going to watch the finish. Again, watch the 6 in this race. This horse is the 9 tomorrow. Watch the 6. You see breaks very slow. Steadied back here. You see the 6 is back in last. A good, 7, 8 lengths back, right? Now, watch the move this horse makes. You see on the turn, you see right here in last, they're really not flying. It's a reasonable pace, but they're not flying. This horse is in like the 4 or 5 path right now. Swings out to the 7, 8, 9 path right here. Still in last place, right? Top of the stretch, still in last place. Watch the run that this 6-horse puts in. Considering the level, you see he's on the wrong lead right here, on the wrong lead. Now switches back to his right lead, runs a monster race, passes everyone except one horse. This is a big, big effort for tomorrow's 9-horse, Escape with Friends. Not only that, take a look at the chart here. You see the incremental pace. You can see this is the final eighth, 11.68. Wow. Almost a half second better than anyone else in this race. A big close, Escape with Friends. I could easily single tomorrow in my pick 5 in a caveman ticket or my pressed up ABC ticket. Really like Escape with Friends tomorrow, the 9 for George Weaver. It is a big field. So again, Cancel's got to work out the trip. I'd also use 1, 5, 6 as my other horses. I don't really want to go through those, but again, 1, 5, 6 I would also use in that race. Quick caveman here as we're coming up to the end of the show. Real cheap. That's right. I spent all my bank account. Actually, my brother did a lot of treating. Thank you, Brother Michael. He treated me for quite a bit. I paid for the meals. He sort of took care of the golf and the hotel. But the meals were very expensive as well. But it was unbelievable. So we're going to go cheap. $27 caveman ticket. There it is. That's it. That's all you need. $27, singling 9 on the end. Right there. Joe just commented, yes, there's no question, Joe. Our younger generation needs to continue to work on their math. No question about it. Oh boy. Now, Joe, not everyone's going to get that, but an integral that's related to calculus, for those who have no idea about math. Anyway, Joe, people don't want to hear us talk about math. But anyway, I get it, Joe. Thanks a lot. So there's my caveman ticket. Use it, don't use it. Real cheap. Love the 9 in the last race for sure. Let's see. I think that's going to cover everything that we need to cover. Again, tomorrow, flagship show, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want me on the show as a guest tomorrow, especially, please put that in the email. I want to be a guest on the show tomorrow, Thursday night, and I'll check it later tonight, and I will get in touch with you by email sometime tomorrow. You'd be handicapping Saturday's Late Pick 5 at Saratoga with me on the live flagship show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Or if you just want to be a guest on the show at any time, I will put you on my guest list that I have for my viewers as handicappers. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to do it for our show. I'm going to go ahead and take that scroll off across the screen. I'm going to get to another screen. It has been a pleasure being with you. It's glad to be back, everyone. This has been episode 70 of the HHH Racing Podcast. Good luck tomorrow for your pick 5 at Saratoga on Thursday. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.